not have to be there. They're not going to be there for any other reason. But that interaction, so interaction is a direct result of of the action that you're taking. So I don't know. I think you're right. I think you're right in terms of either proper tracing or vaccination would be, the only time which.
Well, even vaccination is going to take forever. So contact tracing is the only answer to it, and we haven't got any.
Forever, Andy. You're so depressive.
I just bring a balance to the pod, really, don't I?
I spoke to Pete Abbott at the weekend, stadium announcer, obviously, and he worked the 2 games. He was saying, what they went through to get into the ground. They had to have temperature taken. There was a whole raft of measures.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't be doing that for the fans.
No.
I'd be very surprised if they're going to say, right, well, we're going to do, for I'd say it's 30,000 or 20,000. 20,000. Say it's 20,000. We're going to do that for 20,000 fans on top of all the staff or whoever that are required, to support that. It's
You can just picture it as well, can't you? You get a steward taking someone's temperature. Oh, sorry, it's too high. You can't come in. You've got a 7'6" guy. Really? I'm not coming in.
Exactly that.
I got refused entry because my bag was too big. And it's the same bag that was taken in for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
That still frustrates me.
Okay, so let's move on. Shall we move on? So just the point that I want to bring up. So with this new football, because it's not the same football. They've decided they're going to break the game down into 4 quarters. And so my point I think is twofold. So firstly, it's like, what are your thoughts on the fact that we're having games of effectively 4 quarters? Because it's not these drinks breaks are virtually mandatory now. They're not things that are discretionary where the referee thinks, well, okay, it's in the best interest of the players this half to do it. Every half we're having that. And then the second point is the substitutions that are allowed, and the reasons for doing it. I heard a couple of weeks ago, well, it's going to benefit the bigger clubs, the Man Cities and Liverpools, the ones with the better squads, and I think it was a Liverpool game. It was a FA Cup game. They were able to they had an extra time and they were able to bring on 6 players effectively because they'd made 5 substitutions within the game, and then it went to extra time and they were able to make an extra sub. And that extra quality that they were able to bring off the bench was the difference. And I think that's just a scat. How can you call that maintain integrity of the game?
That's exactly
when we're doing that, and we got I think it should be if 5 subs are needed because of lack of fitness and other concerns, then it's 5 subs, and that's 5 subs for me, whether it's 90 minutes or 120 minutes. I think the players, managers need to manage their squads better.
Yeah. You talk about integrity. I was going to make that exact same point. A team scrapping at the bottom of the table, and say they played someone else in January, and they had made 3 substitutions already. Another player gets injured, you can't make a change. Now you can do that, and that's the difference potentially of staying up and getting relegated. And again, we speak about integrity. It's just not right. It's just not fair.
It isn't.
And the same way for teams like Brighton, okay, they've got to play a number of big clubs at home still in their fight to stay up. Everyone else has played them at home with their fans behind them.
Yeah.
Now Brighton haven't got the opportunity. To me, that's not fair.
It's wrong.
People covering the Norwich games that have been at home this season, they've all said the Norwich crowd get behind them and G them along, and that's been missing from Norwich's performance. And I don't think
the only team that's made no difference to is West Ham, because that Olympic Stadium's a joke. So.
No one can see the game anyway. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So far away. It's so far away, isn't it?
Yeah. So they've got Brucey Bonus playing these games.
I can't remember. Do you know who that team was? I can't remember. I should have looked it up, but I'm pretty sure it was Liverpool. But they had 6 subs, which meant effectively at the end of by the end of the game, they ended up with more than half a different team than they started the game with. You've changed more than half of your side.
Wasn't that Man United the other night?
Was it Man United?
I think it was. Yeah,
it might have been Man United. It was a team that play in red, so I'm not, it just washes over me. But yeah, no, no. Anyway, I thought it was scandalous. So right, I'm going to do a quick poll for you. So, my poll for you is Jose or Poch, and I'm saying this mainly because, and Daniel, you don't have to answer this if it's going to get you in trouble, but this is mainly because Twitter has gone absolutely mental today because Pochettino Jr. has signed a new contract with the club, and Pochettino Sr. was seen wearing a Spurs t-shirt, and you've got some that are still fawning over him and some that are cursing him and abusing him for still wearing Spurs gear and stuff like that. So, Stacey, Jose or Poch? Yes, just as one word.
Poch.
Okay, right. Why? Sorry, why?
Yeah, one word.
Listen, I like the way that he plays. I think Jose will win us cup, but I get so I fall asleep watching Jose. It's the way he's not a purist, is he? He's just going to win the game. It's not going to be pretty. In that game against Burnley, I think was a one-off when we spanked Burnley.
Yeah. Andy, Jose Poch.
Well, I'm not really into binary decisions, so I think it's a bit of both. Poch did a wonderful job, and he seems like a lovely guy. Never met him. Whereas Jose, he's a born winner, and I'd probably have to edge it with Jose.
Okay, I'm glad you made a decision. Yeah. Daniel.
Yeah, I'll take it. Jose, great under Poch. I think if people are honest with themselves and take a look back over, certainly at Poch's last year, 18 months, how many times did he leave the ground saying no plan B, awful football, things have to change? I mean, I remember saying after the Man United FA Cup semi-final, we lost. We were 1-0 up and we lost. I said, they knew how to win and we didn't. They could see it over the line. And I said after that game...
That was Jose.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I remember saying to those that I was with after the game, he's taken us as far as he possibly can.
Yeah,
I can say that now because he's gone, right? But I absolutely said that at the time. So Jose for me.
Yeah. Okay. The defence of Pochettino is I think he's learned from Tottenham. And I think he won't.
He's what?
He's learned from his days.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%.
He'll not let it go stale. He'll swap his players. After 2-3 years, you watch him start swapping these players. He won't be so loyal. He's an evolving manager, isn't he? He's a young manager. He's evolving. He's learning his trade. He will go on somewhere else probably and be successful. I wish him more. I think personally, it would be Jose because he's in situ. He's the man. He's in the job. So it's always going to be Jose. I agree with what you say, Stace, in terms of Andy, you said it as well. He's a winner in terms of how he approaches it. And we need to get used to clinical, sterile games where we're just going to be controlling, get a chance, take the chance, and then control the game. You could see he's probably really, really pissed off in the Man United game because that was his game plan. Score a goal, control the game, and then if we get a chance to nick another one, then go ahead and nick another one. You know what I mean? But that's not something that we did. We made a mistake and fucked it up. Go on, Daniel.
Just talking to Poch, I've got a letter here from him. I got married 4 years ago, and my wife is an Arsenal fan. And part of the letter says, obviously, writing to congratulate you. I'm sure part of your vows will be to change your allegiance. That was obviously addressed to my now wife. And, welcome to the Spurs family. So,
and that's the thing, isn't it? That
that's what I love about him is I think he is a top human being.
Yeah.
You know, he's a really nice guy, a top human being. And again, this is something that's contentious because like this has also happened on the same day that there's been videos surfacing of Trippier in a conference call with some people talking about how he knocked on his door and was asking if he was in his plans and all that, and he said he didn't say yes or no. He must have, I don't know. Poch probably thought he was like a journalist interviewing him or something like that, and didn't want to be committal. You know? So and so because he didn't say yes or no, that's why he decided to go to Atletico, which is fair enough. But I don't know. I just see him as a very warm and personable, and when touches like that. Daniel, there's so many stories I think from fans where he's shown his personal side. So no. Top.
I think we're going to win a cup, and we're going to get quite close to the league with Jose.
I
honestly believe we will.
I think next season Jose will be looking to win the league. Whether we do or not is another matter, but I think he'll be looking to win.
I mean, I think we'll be lucky because we won't have any European Cups to focus on, so we'll be able to focus straight on the league.
That is true.
I'm 99% certain that year that Leicester won it, if Mourinho was our manager, we would have won the league that season.
Yeah, I agree.
We would have got over the line.
No, how many times have we gone close? I know, Stacey. We can probably combine this into this. Into this. You wanted to talk about Harry Kane, and before I give you the chance to do that, how many times under Pochettino, as well as we did we come close? And then we see like when there's talk about Kane, you see fans going, he deserves a move or he deserves this. But they've all been part of a team that has, but not got over the edge. Now, I don't know whether that's the players and their mentality or whether that's the manager and his mentality and making wrong decisions at the wrong time. For me, I think the players and the manager are just as culpable. So I know you wanted to have a quick minute on Harry Kane and what you think he should do.
Yeah, no, I think he'll regret going. I think if he goes, we'll get someone in saying we'll win cups and we'll go close to the league, if not win the league. And then he would have left to count trophies. I think he's in the right place with Jose Mourinho. The thing that I don't like about it is using him as a ping ball and a target man. And he's more than a target man. Harry does it all. And that's the frustrating thing for me, is it against Watford, and it was just pinging long balls up to him. And it was,
it was interesting though in the West Ham game. On Twitter, people were saying they're just punting the ball up, but they weren't. They were actually trying to play it through midfield, and you can see the game is changing. In the earlier matches, like against Watford, it was a bit like that.
So it's about him. It's about Jose embedding his style, isn't it?
Yeah,
and about how he's playing the game. And I think that that would take time. And I wonder, if you sort of take a step back and look at things in the round, has the appointment of Jose, come at the time where the club know that we've had 5 years, we've been close and we've come and he's at a point where he might be considering his future, and it's like, well, if I leave, they've got a steering. If I leave now, that as you say, Stacey, they might go on and start winning cups. And I'm desperate, like Harry, coming from the academy, desperate to win a trophy with Spurs. He wants to win trophies, but I'm sure he's desperate to win a trophy with Spurs.
Definitely.
Do I go now, or do I give it another another season or two just to see under Jose if I can actually achieve what I wanted to achieve, which is win a trophy?
I don't think he's going anywhere.
Jose and winning a cup would be unbearable as fans. We would be. If you want to shut up Liverpool, but would be unbearable just like that. We really would. And if Harry,
I think we would.
We'd all be next year if it was to win the FA Cup or even the
waited too long.
Cup, as we call it. We'd go crazy. We'd all go mad.
Yeah.
We will. It's the way it is. That's
Right.
Harry done it.
Okay. So anyway, that's